Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Max Kevin podcast, and I am not wearing any pants. Oh, isn't it wonderful? Through the miracle of technology, I can not wear any pants and record myself, and you're none the wiser. Unless I tell you, of course. Do you guys ever wonder when you're doing those video calls or those Zoom calls on the business meetings, you're doing the business meetings, you ever think to yourself, which one of these people are wearing pants? And which ones aren't? Which ones are secretly touching themselves, like that one guy who wasn't wearing any pants and he was touching himself on the business Zoom call? Those could be your coworkers. Your coworkers could all be perverted perverts, and you don't even know it, unless their camera messes up and scrolls downward. Anywho, I'm not wearing any pants. Please think about that while you listen to this podcast or watch on YouTube. If you're just listening, please watch on YouTube, okay? It's more important. Nobody cares about the podcast downloads, okay? YouTube is where it's at. If you don't get the likes and comments and subscribes on the YouTube, you're nobody. You're a nothing. You're 5 foot nothing. You're 100 and nothing. So yeah, please watch on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, share, start political fights in the comments. There's a lot of stuff going on right. You can fight about Iran. You can fight about what's the other one? Israel. You can fight about I don't know. You can fight about Thailand and Myanmar. I don't know if you guys know Thailand and Myanmar are constantly fighting. You know, just like Israel and the other Middle Eastern countries. You know. Thailand and Myanmar are always fighting, but no one cares. No one cares. I guess there's not enough oil there, or, Thailand doesn't have any secret videos of presidents, doing stuff. So nobody cares about Myanmar. All right, shall we, let's talk about my life here. Did a couple shows this weekend. Did some Japanese shows there. It's fun. I enjoy doing the Japanese comedy there. I just realized it's going to be so incredibly difficult for me, because the other Japanese comedians, they in order to get followers, they post their crowd work stuff and their in the moment jokes there, but I don't have any of that because I can't speak Japanese well enough, I can't talk to I suck at crowd work to begin with, and then doing it in Japanese is not something I can do. So even though I do enjoy the Japanese comedy there, and I think I probably have a better future doing Japanese comedy, it's going to be tough to get the follower. I'm thinking, how can I get the Japanese followers there if I can't post my crowd work? I can't post my clips there because if I just post all my jokes, that's it. I've been doing this 10 years. I got 10 minutes of Japanese jokes, and that's it. That's all I got. That's my entire life's work. I can't be posting my life's work on the Instagrams. If anybody has any ideas how I can market myself to the Japanese audience without burning my joke material, please let me know. Let me know in the comments. We had a couple visiting comedians from America. We had this one dude. He's I guess he's not a famous comedian, but he's sort of he was kind of famous otherwise. He's rich and famous otherwise. I'd never heard of him before, but people that watch reality TV might know who he is. Anyway, he started doing comedy a couple years ago there. And this guy, even before he started doing comedy, he's real rich. He's a rich guy. He said he drives a Ferrari. He lives in L.A., I don't know what size house he has, but he's got more money than me, that's for sure. He got more money than me, that's for sure. And this is actually the second person that has come to Japan to do comedy that has actually been a rich person that's just doing comedy as a hobby. They don't need any money from it, a lot of us comedians, our dream is to become a professional comedian, hit it big, and then we can get some money, But these people, they already have money, and then they started doing comedy after they already had money. And, as a struggling comedian, I just want to say, hey, what are you doing, man? All right? You already got the money. All right, what are you doing? You gotta take the stage time too now? All of us are struggling, okay? We're trying to make it so we can make this our job. You don't even need to work. You're just doing this as a hobby. Come on. Yeah, recently, a lot more better looking people, good looking people are starting to do comedy too. It's hey, This used to be the only way us Uggs could get any play, all right? But now these beautiful people are doing it. People are laughing at their jokes, and they're not even that funny because they're just good looking, and they're laughing because they're like, ha ha ha, I want to bang that person. It's like, come on, man. You gotta leave the jokes to the Uggs, all right? To us Uggs. That's all we got. No one wants to bang us unless we make them laugh. People already want to bang you, and they laugh at your dumb jokes even though they're not funny because they just want to. Anyway, so there's that's been going a lot recently. Is there's good-looking people that do it, and there's rich people that do it. And it's like, hey, come on, all right? You got to leave comedy to the ugly poor people that have no hope for the future, all right? Those are the people that need it. We need it. I need it for my life. Anyway, so this dude, he came on. He like printed out flyers, and he was handing them out on the street. He's like doing things that even struggling comics won't do. And I just really respected his hustle there. He was hustling, even though like there was no, he doesn't need this. He was still out there trying to get people to come to the show. He was doing stuff that poor people do, even though he has millions of dollars, he was doing what poor people do. So I guess that's what they say, the people that are successful, they work hard. They got that motor, they got that work ethic there. I kind of don't have that so much. I kind of have the fat lazy fudge syndrome there. Kind of wish I had that motor sometimes. I don't know what's wrong with me. Can't get off my ass. Get to work. I don't know, kind of like, these people just wake up and they're like, all right, got stuff to, they start doing their work. And me, when I wake up, I'm just like, all right, where am I going to sit down? I just woke up and now I need to sit down. Could take a little break here before I drink my coffee. It's tough drinking that. It's a tough job drinking that coffee. I need some break time. All right, anyway, let's talk about the news. Are you ready?
Make jokes about the news. It's time to make jokes about the news. We're making jokes about the news because everything sucks.
All right, we're making jokes about the news. Let's see. Our first news story, big news story. The Correspondent's dinner there. The White House Correspondent's dinner. I don't know if you guys heard about this story. Okay, it happened a couple weeks ago, but I've been kind of lazy. I haven't made a podcast, so I haven't really talked about it yet. But they're having a cute little dinner for all the correspondents. I don't know if you guys know, these reporters, they get to ask questions to the president. They ask them softball questions, because if they ask them like hard-hitting questions, they never get to ask them questions. They kick them out, and they never get to ask them questions anymore. So they just ask like softball questions, and then once a year they have a little dinner. They all have a little dinner together, and they get to dress up in their tuxedos and eat fancy food. And usually a comedian will come and make fun of the president, and this is where actually Obama made fun of Trump, which made him, he said Obama made a joke that Trump would never be president, and a lot of people think that's what made Trump actually start running for president there. So if you ever wonder, like all the Iran war and the prices going up and all this dumb stuff Trump's doing, if you ever get pissed off about that, just remember it's all Obama's fault. It's all Obama's fault for making fun of him at the Correspondent's dinner. Thanks, Obama. You made Trump pissed off at you and run for president. All right, anyway, so the little Correspondent's dinner, and another well-adjusted American thought, hey, you know what this would be a good time to do? I think I should probably try to kill the president right here. This would probably be a great time to kill the president, So this guy, he was obviously very good at planning stuff, I don't know what his day job was, but this guy had management material written all over him because his plan was to just run past the guards and shoot them. That was his plan. He was... kids these days. Oh, kids these days. You really think that's your plan, huh? You're going to kill the president. Did you ever see that movie, In the Line of Fire, with Clint Eastwood and John Malkovich? Okay? John Malkovich had a plan, all right? He made a plastic gun so he could sneak it in through the metal detector there, And then he had like makeup and face masks so people wouldn't know what he looked like. Okay? He had a plan. He was a man with a plan. And he would have done it, too, if Clint Eastwood didn't jump in the way in the last minute there. Anyway, this guy, he didn't really have so much of a plan. His plan was to run real fast. Like, I don't know if he was on the high school track team or whatever, you know. Maybe he had like too much confidence from like winning first place in his high school track meet, you know. But then when he went to the nationals, he probably lost, you know, probably got like 16th place, but he was probably thinking, well, I'm still faster than most people in my high school, so I'll just run past the guards there. I'll just run so fast no one could catch me. And I'll run past hundreds of people and I'll just shoot Trump in the face, and then I'll be the savior. Everyone will be saying I'm the greatest man of all time because I could run so fast, like Forrest Gump. Anyway, so yeah, of course, before he executed his perfect plan there, he decided to take a selfies in the mirror there. I don't know if you guys seen this selfie here. Here it is. Oh, look how dapper he is. He's a little dapper Davy. Look at his cute little tie. He's got a cute. Oh, look at his little dimples. Oh, he's got little dimples like me. Oh, a little cutie. What's wrong with this generation, man? So narcissistic, man. Taking selfies, you know. He's just sitting there. He's like, all right, well, time to go take the president, kill the president. You know what I should do before I kill the president? I should just take a little selfie in the mirror, you know, just for memories, you know, just so, you know, and look how nice I look. I got my cute little tie. I got my gun holster, got my knives. In case I miss with the gun, I'll be running so fast I'll be able to throw these knives. Anyway, he's going to jail for life. So much for that guy. He obviously has some mental problems there. We have a lot of mental health issues there in America. Anyway, speaking of mental health issues, let's go to the California governor's debate. All right, I'm from California, you know, so this is, you know, I've been watching the California governors. I don't know what state you guys are living in, but I'm sure they're just as big as a shit show as this one. So all the governors were debating that. I don't know if you ever heard of a state called California, but it's a giant dumpster. It's a giant dumpster. There's homeless people everywhere. They're spending billions of dollars trying to solve the homeless problem, but it's getting worse every day because they think the problem is giving them a house instead of getting them drug treatment. They're all mental illness drug addicts, and they think giving them a house. Well, hey, if you had a house, if you had somewhere to live, you would stop doing drugs and your mental illness would go away. That's their thinking. You know, that's the thinking. That's the thinking of the people that have been running California for the last 20 years. Anywho, let's just take a look at why democracy doesn't work. Okay, let's take a look at the audience members here during this debate. Okay, we got Napoleon Dynamite in the back. I don't know if you can see him. Let's zoom in there. Okay, there's Napoleon Dynamite. He's looking like this. You guys should definitely watch on YouTube so you can see the face I'm making. All right, this is the average California voter right there. Napoleon Dynamite, who he's got his mouth wide open. He's probably, I mean, the thing is, I would make that face too. Anyone that's listening to these people debate would also make that face because, okay, they asked this question. They're like, give the governor, Gavin Newsom, a grade on homelessness, okay? And all the Democratic people said B. And the two Republican guys said F, right? And okay, the thing is, like, anyone who's thinking clearly is going to know it's an F. Like, the problem, you spend billions of dollars, the problem only got worse. It's getting worse and worse. Everyone's leaving California because homeless people are taking dumps in front of their lawns, you know? I went to Venice Beach last summer when I was visiting California there. I went there at 10 a.m. on a Monday, and there was all these people just doing drugs passed out on the sidewalk. It's like, hey, dude, this is 10 a.m. on a Monday, all right? Can't you just wait till at least lunchtime to pass out doing drugs on the sidewalk? Anyway, Venice Beach, beautiful place. Check it out. So yeah, all these, it's like, okay, we know, like, you're part of the same party there, but you can't just say nonsense. You gotta say the truth, man. Everyone knows it's a giant dumpster. You can't just be saying B. You can't be giving them a B. You know, what if I did that with my students? Like, they just don't do any of their homework, you know? They're just taking dumps on their desk during class. You know, the other kids are taking a test and they're just smoking meth. I gotta, you know, if the semester's over now, I gotta give them a grade. I'm gonna give them a B? I don't think so, dude. They didn't do any of their homework. And they used A and the incorrectly. They didn't conjugate their verbs. No, don't get a B. You don't know how to spell Mississippi. Anyway, yeah, this tribalism is a big problem, huh? People are so blind by political parties. You know, it depends if you're a Democrat or a Republican, whichever one you are. The people in your party, you'll love them, and the people in the opposite party, you hate them, no matter what they're saying, which is idiotic. I don't understand why people do this. B. I just don't understand how any of those Democratic people could say that with a straight face. Like, could give them a be like, hey, the problem is it's been a catastrophic failure, and you're giving him anyway, I don't get too belittle here. I'm not going to too belittle. Let's go to the next story. Joe Rogan visits the White House as Trump makes Ibogaine, well, not legal. He reschedules Ibogaine. I don't know if you guys know this. A lot of people are addicted. Yeah, a lot of these homeless people in California are addicted to drugs right there, and Ibogaine. People can take Ibogaine and kind of makes them stop wanting to do drugs, you know? It's like, I mean, Ibogaine is a drug itself. It's like a hallucinogenic drug, but apparently it's not that fun. Like, you just do it, and you just, like, think about all the terrible choices you made with your life, and you're just like, oh, God, what am I doing? Why am I such a fat, lazy piece of crap doing drugs all day? I better stop, you know? So anyway, apparently it has a very high rate of stopping people from doing other drugs, you know? So anyway, Joe Rogan, he messaged President Trump there. He's like, hey, can you make this stuff legal? And Trump was like, oh, okay. So anyway, Joe Rogan shows up to the White House there with a bunch of other people there. And Joe Rogan's like, look, he's the only guy not wearing a suit. He's wearing his black. He's like, what? You can't wear a suit and tie? Come on, man. This is the first time you're White House. You're making drugs legal. You're giving a speech about how Nixon only made drugs legal because, you know, he was a racist. And here you are. You're not even. What do you think? You think you're Vladimir? What's his name? Volodymyr Zelensky? What's Zelensky's name? Voldemort Zelensky? You think you're Voldemort Zelensky? That's the only guy I know that could show up to the White House not wearing a suit. Oh, Joe Rogan. I mean, he doesn't wear a suit when he does the UFC broadcast, but come on, man. You're worth hundreds of $millions. You're telling me you don't have a suit? You don't have a tailor? I know you're kind of short and wide, you know, but come on, get a tailor, dude. I know you own a suit. Everyone else in this picture is wearing a suit, except for you. You're the only one in the room not wearing a suit. What, do you think you're better than the president? You think you're better than everyone else that you're standing next to, Joe Rogan? Just because you got the #1 podcast, you think you're better than me? You think you're better? Yeah, well, I guess he is kind of better than me. I guess, you know, he does have the #1 podcast there. I guess if we numbered my podcast, it would probably be number, I don't know, maybe top 20. Let's see what else we got going on here. What else? We got Sri Lankan monks arrested for carrying 110 kilos of marijuana. Oopsies. Okay, there was how many of these guys? There was like 22 of them or something. So each guy was carrying like 5 kilos. Each guy was carrying like 10 pounds. 10 pounds of weed. And, you know, weed's like they dry it. It's a plant. So it's like a pound of weed is like a full, like one of those gallon Ziploc bags full. That's a pound. These guys, each of these guys was carrying 10 pounds of weed. I wonder where they hid that. I mean, that's too much weed to hide up your butt, you know? I know last podcast I did a story about the ants there, but, you know, ants are small. You know, you can put them in your butt, but 10 pounds of weed, I don't know if that's going to fit in my butt there. You know, I'm going to need to do something else. Yeah, I read the article, actually. They hid it in their suitcases. So they had a hidden compartment in their suitcases. And it's like, hey, dude, don't you know the people at the airport scan this stuff? Don't you know they got the little scanners there? They're going to say, like, oh, what is this secret compartment in this suitcase here with 10 pounds of packed material? I wonder what that could be. You know, the X-ray scanner is going to see the secret compartment in your suitcase, dude. I bet they were doing this so many times already. This is the first time they got caught. I guess maybe in Sri Lanka they don't have the best X-ray machines or whatever, you know. They don't have those cancer scanners. Oh, I mean, come on. We We really got to arrest these guys, these Sri Lankan monks. It's like, what are they going to, let them smoke their weed, dude. They're monks, all right? It's better than touching children. Would you rather they be priests and just touching children? Come on, Sri Lanka. You need to legalize it, dude. You need to legalize it and let Joe Rogan come in his black shirt to your Supreme Court or whatever, your president's room, and say, we did it. The Sri Lankan monks can smoke weed again. All right, let's go to the last story here. Timothee Chalamet is facing mounting pressure to dump Kylie Jenner by his inner circle. Yeah. I'm not part of his inner circle there. I'm more of the outer circle of Timothee Chalamet's friend group there. I agree, though. He should definitely dump Kylie Jenner. I don't understand what he sees in her, I just don't get it, Timothy. Timothy, what do you see in her? What are you doing with your life? You could do... Okay, let me tell you a story about two actors known as Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio. Now, Leonardo DiCaprio, he dates a supermodel from the time she's 22 to 25, and then he dumps her when she's 25, because that's too old for Leonardo DiCaprio. And then he gets a new supermodel at 22, and he's been doing this. He's been trading them in every 3 years. All right, that's what you do when you're a world-class actor, when you're a world-class famous actor. You just trade in supermodels every 3 years, all right? That's what real men do. Now we got Brad Pitt over here. Brad Pitt, he made poor choices with his life. First he dated Jennifer Aniston, who kind of looks like a little mouse, but I guess some people find her attractive. I never really did. And then he dumped her to marry Angelina Jolie, who some people find... she's good looking for an actress, but not compared to a 22-year-old supermodel. Leonardo DiCaprio, he's dating these 22-year-old blonde bombshells from some Eastern Bloc country that you never even heard of, right? He gets a new one every 3, And what are you doing, Timothée Chalamet? Whose path are you following? Are you following Leonardo DiCaprio or Brad Pitt? You're following neither. You're following a third path, which is even worse than Brad Pitt. Because Kylie Jenner, she doesn't have her original face. That's not what she looks like. Everything about her is fake. She's got fake boobs, fake ass, and a fake face. You're dating this woman who's a half cyborg. And not only that, she has 2 kids. She had 2 kids before she started dating you. She doesn't have her original face, and she's got 2 kids. And this is you could date anyone in the world. This is who you're going with. Man, Kylie Jenner must be awesome in bed there, huh? She must be awesome in bed if she can round up Timothée Chalamet. I don't know. Maybe Timothée Chalamet has a little complex there, Maybe he's got mouse face complex because he kind of looks like a little mouse too, So maybe he doesn't have a high standard of himself. So he sees the 22-year-old Eastern Bloc supermodels and he's like, oh, no, I can never date them. They'll never love me because I look like a little mouse. You know what I'll do? I'll date this chick who's already had 2 kids and who's got a weird looking face because she got so much plastic. It's not her original face or her original boobs or her original butt. I like my women like I like my I don't know. The punchline there was fake, but I can't think of anything else. What's something fake? I like my women like I like my Chinese jeans. Fake. Anywho. Shall we do hot nerds talk? Let's do hot nerd talk.
Hot nerd talk, don't tell any women. Hot nerd talk, don't tell any women.
All right, don't tell any women about this. Don't you tell any women about this. All right, big news. Starfox is coming out for Switch 2, dude. Starfox, man, I heard the news last week. I heard the announcement. Everyone was leaking. All the information was leaking on the internet. They're like, oh, Nintendo's going to announce Starfox. It's going to be a new stuff. I'm like, oh my God, Starfox. So I really want to play it. I want to get it so bad. Starfox. It's going to be Starfox, Switch 2, Starfox. Oh my God, new generation Starfox. It's going to be 4K. There's going to be stuff flying everywhere. Oh my God, Starfox. And then I watched the announcement there, and it's like, oh, it's a remake of Starfox 64. And I'm just like, I don't want to play that. I already played that game. I already played that game like a whole bunch when I was in junior high school. So kind of don't want to play that at all. Kind of, I've already played that game so many times in junior high school. Anyway, Starfox there. I remember I subscribed to Nintendo Power, and one issue they sent out this video. It was a Starfox promo video. It was like 20 minutes long. It was just a big Starfox commercial for Starfox 64. You watch the video and they talk about the Rumble Pack, and in this video, Sony and Sega, because they didn't have Xbox yet. They had Sony and Sega. They kidnapped Nintendo. There's a guy. You know that they're the guys because they're each wearing a shirt. Like one says Nintendo, and the other shirt says Sony, and the other shirt says Sega. So you know who it is. There, and they kidnap the guy, and they're like, "Tell us about this secret game," and it's like, "Oh, it's Star Fox," And then, they kidnapped two guys actually, and the other guy they kidnapped, he's like, "Wait, you didn't tell him about the Rumble Pack, did you?" And the other guy's like, "No, I didn't." And then the Sony guy and the Sega guy are like, "No, you just told us about the Rumble Pack," It was like that movie Reservoir Dogs, except with less bad words and less cutting people's ears off. Anyway, they all end up playing 4-player, and then at the end, the Sony and Sega guys are like, "Oh my God, I felt that! I felt it move, the Rumble Pack. You could feel it. Oh my God!" And then they were just defeated. They're all sad. They're like, "Oh, there's nothing we could do. We can't beat this. We can't beat this Rumble Pack, Star Fox 64. And the Nintendo guys were like, "Yep, well, see you later." Anyway, I bought that game. I played the shit out of it, and that's why I don't really want to play it anymore. I already played it so many times in junior high school. Anyway, hopefully it'll sell, and then they'll make a new Star Fox game. That would be cool. That'd be pretty cool. Of course, I also watched this Peaky Blinders movie, The Immortal Man. I don't know if you guys seen this TV show, The Peaky Blinders. It's 5 or 6 seasons. Let's see, how many seasons is it? 3, 4? 3? 4? I think it's 6. It's 6 seasons. Only the first 2 were good. The third season's, it's all right. And then season 4, 5, and 6 are just kind of eh. They're just kind of eh. Anyway, they made this movie about it, and the best character isn't in it because the real life, the actor has a drug problem, so he couldn't be in the movie, so they just killed him. And then Tom Hardy is also a great character in Peaky Blinders, and he's not in this movie, because I guess he wanted more. I don't know why, but the 2 best characters that are in the TV show aren't in this movie. So anyway, it's a decent movie. One point in this movie, so Peaky Blinders, it's about this guy Tommy Shelby. He's the mafia guy, right? And he retired, and now his son is the mafia guy there, the mafia leader. But he's not being nice, He's being a bad little boy. He's not helping the people, and so Tommy Shelby, he goes back. He comes out of retirement and he goes back to his bar, where his headquarters was at this bar. And these guys are dancing. These guys from World War II are dancing, and all these soldiers are dancing. And he turns off the music and he's like, "I want to talk to the owner of this bar." And that's my accent. That's my British accent. And then one of the soldiers is like, "You better put that music back on." And then the other guys are like, "Don't you know who this is? This is Tommy Shelby." And he's like, "I don't care. I don't know who Tommy Shelby is. You better put that music back on, and we're going to dance." And he pulls out a gun. And then Tommy Shelby's he just pulls out a grenade out of his pocket. Okay, yeah. And then the scene before this, he's walking to the bar, and some lady just walks up to him and hands him a grenade. And he's like, "Thanks," and puts it in his pocket, which that didn't really make any sense, It's you're this mafia boss leader, and you haven't been back in your hometown for 5 years, and then you just come back, and then everyone knows you, but this lady sees you and she just walks up to you and is like, "Oh, hey, do you need this grenade? Here you go. I thought maybe you might need this. Welcome back to town. I thought you might need this grenade. Here, take it. I don't need it. I have too many already." So he's, he takes out the grenade and primes it and puts it in the soldier's pocket there, And then the soldier, instead of taking it out of his pocket, he just runs out of the building and explodes. That wasn't very smart or good writing. That wasn't either one of those. Why would he just... I mean, it's not like it was taped to him or he couldn't... Or down his pants or something, so it was hard to... It was just in his coat pocket. I mean, he could easily just take it out and throw it outside or something, you know? Why would he just run outside? That didn't make any sense. Who wrote this movie? Anyway, it's a decent show. Check it out, Peaky Blinders. All right, let's go to hot UFC talk. All right, this weekend we had UFC 328. What should we talk about here? Should we talk about Khamzat Chimaev versus Sean Strickland? You know, actually, I thought Khamzat Chimaev won the fight there. You know, when I first watched it, I thought the only round Sean Strickland won was the second round there, and but I guess judges don't care about wrestling anymore. Like, I guess, you know, that was the critique on them. Like, all the judges were like boxing refs or boxing judges, you know, so like they don't understand how difficult it is to wrestle and take people down. But then, like, in the past few years, they've been giving more points to wrestling. But then I guess recently they've gone back again to where like wrestling doesn't matter at all. Like, I remember even to what's that guy's name? The heavyweight Russian dude. What's his name? He also fought Alexander Volkov in his last fight. With Jailton Almeida. Almeida kind of wrestled, but didn't really punch him or whatever. He kind of controlled him the whole round, but they still gave it to Alexander Volkov, even though I think he should have lost that fight. But anywho, I guess the judges don't care about wrestling anymore. So if you're a wrestler, you better start doing stuff. Yeah. Anyway, of course, I think round 3 and round 5 were quite close. They could have gone either way. So yeah, definitely could have been scored for either guy. You know, especially that third round there. I felt like Khamzat was in the middle. He was pushing the pace there. And maybe Sean Strickland landed a little more, but he only landed jabs. I don't think he landed one straight punch. Like, the only punch he landed the entire fight was jabs. He was just like jab, jab, jab. That was a whole jab fest. The last 3 rounds were just jab fest. Jab, 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 jab. Yeah, and also Khamzat was also jabbing, and he was moving forward, and he also got a takedown in that third round there. So I feel like that third round should have definitely been Khamzat. 5th round was a little more closer. You know, maybe Sean Strickland won that round there, but I think Khamzat definitely won 2-3-4, or I'm sorry, 1-3-4. Anywho, of course, what was interesting about this fight is Khamzat totally gassed out in the second round there. And he went for a takedown, and then he just like gave up, and he's like, oh God. And he just like laid on his back. I thought like maybe he broke something. Like, when I was watching it in real time, I was like, did he break something? What happened? Did he get hit? And he didn't get hit. Like, they showed the replay. He didn't get hit with anything. He just kind of gave up. And it's like, oh, he's totally gassed. And it's only the second round there, you know? And he's never been really known for his gas tank, but of course, his last fight, he went 5 rounds. And, you know, he's never gotten so tired so fast. And a lot of people are saying, it's like, oh, it's because Sean Strickland made him work. It's like, in one round? I don't think so, dude. He didn't make him work in the first round. In the first round, Sean Strickland got totally dominated by the wrestling there. You know, he didn't make him work. And of course, Khamzat, I guess he had a bad weight cut. I guess he doesn't know how to weight cut. I don't understand what's wrong with this guy. Like, he's got all this money. He can't hire a nutritionist. It's like, dude, figure out how to weight cut. Freaking, what's his name? Aljamain Sterling would cut weight from 175 to 135. He would cut 40 pounds from 175 to 135. You're also cutting 40, but from like 220 to 185. It should be much easier for you. And he doesn't even look that big. I don't understand why it's so hard for him to cut weight, or he doesn't know how to do it, or whatever, you know. But yeah, I guess it was a bad weight cut. A lot of people say he didn't make weight. I kind of agree. I think he was over. And he was totally dead there, and yeah, I guess that totally sapped his energy. He never, you know, we never really know what's happened, like how the people feel, but yeah, he was totally out of it. So I mean, of course, Sean Strickland won, but it wasn't a typical performance from Khamzat. Like, I don't know, something's, you know, the weight cut. He just had no energy at all. So yeah, I know. Any given night, anybody can beat anybody. Anybody can beat anybody. And then of course we had Tatsuro Taira, Japan's hope, Japan's future, versus Joshua Van. Tatsuro Taira. We learned we answered another question. So I was concerned. I didn't know if Joshua Van could wrestle, and now we know he can't. But lucky for him, even when he does wrestle, Tatsuro Taira's ground and pound is not good enough to actually do any damage, even when he's winning on the wrestling. So Taira's striking is also just so bad there. Oh man, his hands were down. He had no head movement. He was just eating shots. He was like, okay, I'm gonna stand here with my hands down. You can punch me in the face a few times if you want. Anyway, he's a young boy. Hopefully he'll learn how to put his hands up and move his head so he doesn't get punched in the face so many times there. Yeah, I felt like the stoppage was kind of a little early, but it was probably over. It was probably over, but it was kind of a little early. It would have been nice just, because like in that, I think it was the third round there, Taira almost got knocked out, but then he came back and he got a takedown, and he came back at the last minute of the round there and ended up on top there. And they scored that at 10-8. They scored that round at 10-8. I don't understand how they could score that round at 10-8 when like he came back at the end and he got a takedown at the end. You can't, a 10-8 is like complete domination. You can't. Anywho, to these judges. Oh, these judges. So much for Japan's future. What else we got? I guess we still got that one dude. That one guy. Anyway. Is there anything else I want to talk about UFC? No, I guess that's it. That's it for this podcast. Did you guys have fun? Did you think about me not wearing any pants? Did you? Are you thinking about it now? I hope you're thinking about it now. Whatever you're doing, stop what you're doing right now and just think about me not wearing any pants and start political fights in the comments. All right, see you next time.